Hey guys, Victoria here, and welcome to the Geeky Sandbox. Today we're gonna jump straight. Ooh, I can't talk today. Today we're gonna jump straight into a movie review of Mother with Jennifer Lawrence and Javier Bardem. He has a lot of great movies under his belt, and his writing style and the eye he has for certain aspects of a story really show and kind of just shine throughout the movie Mother. Okay, so there are three main things I want to talk about. First, the themes throughout the movie: love, devotion, sacrifice, humanity, Mother Nature, God, the Bible, Adam and Eve. So those themes are very heavily sprinkled throughout the movie. So first of all, if you're not the type of person who likes movies that involve a lot of symbolism, a lot of scenes that require your patience, then this movie may not be the movie for you. Like, for instance, I know my mom wouldn't like this type of movie because it's very slow and, you have to wait for the payoff. Whereas me, I enjoy movies with symbolism and, like I mentioned, the patience that we have to give as an audience. And you need a ton of patience and a ton of room for confusion when you watch this movie. Because if you don't understand the symbolism, you'll be confused right up until probably you're driving home in your car. And I don't want to give away any spoilers as to who represents what and what scene represents what, but just know that there's the question of humanity as a whole versus Mother Nature and God's role in all of that, and the remake of a story about Adam and Eve, or, how much are you willing to sacrifice and devote for love if it's not given back to you in return. So themes like that are heavily sprinkled throughout the movie, as I mentioned, but I really don't mind it. Aronofsky did an amazing job telling this story because, he wrote the script and he also directed the movie. Jennifer Lawrence and Javier Bardem, they were really, really good in this movie. They were really good together. Aronofsky's visual style was so apparent in this movie, and I enjoyed it. Like, there were some things that kind of made my skin crawl, or things that kind of made me sit on the edge of my seat. There were some scenes that I was just like, oh my God, can they really do that? Or are they about to do that? And if we thought he was daring with Black Swan and some of his other films, we have not, or you have not seen anything yet if you haven't seen this movie yet. He's able to go there as tastefully as you can without pissing everybody off, and I know he managed to do it. Like, there are some scenes that I know that a lot of people had there was a lot of outcry about, but I feel like they were well done, and they helped kind of act as catalysts for the characters to do certain things. And like I mentioned, back to Javier, he was very scary. Like, I just felt like his character, I never knew what he was going to do next, and I never knew how he was going to feel about a certain something. So I was always on the edge of my seat whenever his character would speak up or do something. Javier's name is him in the movie. So you have him, capital H, and then Mother was Jennifer Lawrence. Whenever something confusing was happening specifically, she would give him these very, very intense looks, and whenever he would say something silly or ridiculous, she would just kind of be like, what? Like, and I felt like that was me. And it made her character relatable. And there was this joke in the movie where Ed Harris, because we know in the premise, everything goes to hell when a character invites himself to Javier and Jennifer's home. And whenever he first sees the two together, he's like, oh, is that your wife or is your daughter? And I thought that was really funny. I don't know why I thought it was funny. People in my theater laughed too, but because when they first originally cast him, people were like, oh my God, he's so much older than her. She's so young and she's so beautiful, and he's handsome, but he's much older. And I like that they were able to, Aaron wasn't afraid to break that fourth wall and make a joke about his own actors and, his own friends. So I thought that was really funny, which I think really set the tone, by the way, because even though it was meant to be a very funny and quick line, it was a fourth wall break, which kind of invites us to kind of look at who we really are in a sense. Hey, this is kind of what you're doing in certain aspects of your life. How do you feel about that? I feel like that question was kind of posed a lot throughout some of the crazy things that were happening throughout the movie. Some of the stuff got so abstract and so weird that I was like, there's no way this is just a normal narrative. It's kind of weird. There's no way this is a normal narrative. So, when you go see it, you may pick up on it quicker than I did, but I know maybe just like a quarter into the movie, I was like, oh, okay. this means this maybe and this means that maybe, because what's happening is very strange. So just as things are spiraling out of control, Jennifer's character is on this emotional roller coaster. She's dealing with these abstract and strange things, weird people she doesn't know, and her husband being okay with everything. And I feel like we're on this same roller coaster of unfamiliarity. Like, we don't know these people either that are coming into her house. And he really made us feel for Mother, and kind of, like I said, put a mirror up to us to kind of show us, hey, this is kind of some of the same stuff you're doing too, Mother. How do you feel about that? So the last thing I want to talk about are the sounds in this movie. I really love sound, and I love how it can really change a scene or kind of give you a hint about who a character is or what we're getting ourselves into. And I feel like this movie really took advantage of that. Some of the sounds that stuck out to me were the sound of Mother's floor, hardwood floorboards. Whenever she would walk barefoot throughout the house, you would hear the thumping, and you would hear the casual sound of a heel clicking, or the heavy wooden doors being closed by him. And I even loved, because when the movie opens, the house is burned and it's destroyed, and one of the things that Mother is trying to do is kind of recapture why him fell in love with her. And one of the ways she could do that was by remodeling the house and repainting. So as she's mixing paints and things, you could hear the sound of like the metal kind of hitting the bowl, the plastic bowl, and you hear the sound of like the paintbrush kind of scraping against the wall slowly. And it kind of put us in a very serene and kind of calm mood. Or even when she washed the dishes, you could hear the water gently brushing over the plates and the sound of her hands moving together. Like, it was very, very intriguing. Like I said, it put me in a kind of trance or relaxed state, which was very good, seeing as like the next hour and a half of the movie was a lot of chaos and it was a lot of noise, which worked fine for the movie. But I liked how they kind of set us in to kind of be relaxed, and we didn't expect all that stuff to happen later. So I don't know, I thought that was kind of a nice contrast. And then I even like, though I mentioned that there were some great sounds and then there were some loud sounds, there was also silence. There were some unnerving silent scenes whenever Javier's character would be doing something crazy, or whenever Jennifer would be exploring her house by herself and kind of noticing some things, or she would have a weird eye-to-eye showdown with Michelle Pfeiffer. You know, there was just no music or no thumping and no doors closing, just nothing. It was just unnerving silence, which I always think is very bold to do in a movie, because scary movies and thrillers really rely on violin music and, you know, creaky floorboards and whispers coming from different parts of the room that they're in. And I thought everyone involved in Mother did a great job in terms of sound. I give Mother 4 out of 5 sandboxes. The sound, I just can't stop talking about the sound. The sound design was so good for this movie. And I feel like the symbolism was very telling about who we are as a society, and like how far we're willing to go to do what we want, and what we're willing to destroy, and how much we're willing to take without giving it back. You know, it was very telling, and it was very a good moment for people to reflect about how they treat other people. I know this movie has gotten like a big stamp brand on it as being confusing or kind of over the top, but I personally enjoyed it. It's a nice slow burn, and I think you'll like it too. So if you're free, Mother is still out in theaters, please check it out. Or maybe you'll watch it online when it becomes available. But I feel like you should do yourself a favor and kind of get yourself engrossed in this experience. If you like this video, please give me a like rating down below and leave me a comment. If you've seen Mother, let me know what stuck out to you. Did you like the sound? Did the symbolism kind of throw you off? Let me know what you thought. And if you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button so you can get more movie reviews like this one. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!